Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Cool. So this is wrong. Let's fix this. Cool. So this is the weekly snapshot. So the events for this week are we have the weekly update and roundtable, which is now. So yeah, we'll whip through this and then we'll go through the roundtable stuff. Public holiday tomorrow in America, so Bud's Forex has been moved to Wednesday. Thursday we have Crypto Corner, which is going to be on Twitter. Nothing on Friday, nothing on Saturday, and then we've got a Sunday Monkz poker game. Proposals, I'll read that out. So incorporation, we'll touch on that a little bit more after this. Hopefully, Eli can jump in for that. Education, business is. Are we still? That's done now, isn't it?
Um, what do you mean?
Education business plan proposal.
Oh yeah. So the proposal is pretty much where it needs to be, but I'm not actually haven't put anything out yet because it's waiting on the website, which is really a blocker. So the idea is, as we narrow in on the website proposal, which is getting really close, then we'll be in a better position to release the education proposal after that, since it's really dependent on what we're going to need and do around creating a learning ecosystem online that everybody can access for courses.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll put that as blocked now. Cool. ETH validator node that got passed. It's currently working. And then Monkz merch proposals done and passed, and it got funded last week. So yeah, we'll have a merch store up ASAP. We'll also touch on that in the in the roundtable as well. And then this work pod focus area is pretty much what we touch on in roundtable as well. So with that, I will hand it over to Mr. Fire.
Excellent. Thank you. So, we are, well, so we had our video last week, got about 80, 84 views or something like that. If you scroll on to the next screen, I can read it off. I don't quite remember, something around there. And so, it's a little bit low, but not all of them hit. So we've had quite a few, like 120, 140. So hopefully we get back up into that range soon. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, last week's video was about financial contagion, how that spread within the crypto market, and a little bit about how it looks from a really a lack of diversification when you invest in very closely related assets. So this week, we are looking at releasing the new video for the SEC's role in regulation. I believe it's going to be titled SEC's Secret Power Play to Circumvent Congressional Authority, so it should be a good one. Dizzy, Miss Lynn, do we have a link for that yet, or TBD?
There was just one posted in the VC text chat.
Sweet, that's probably it. Yes, that looks like it to me. So do take the opportunity, if you would, go ahead and watch it. At least once, maybe a few times. Help us out with that. Working on some new shorts, of course. I really want to kind of redouble my efforts around the shorts and build up at least a month's backlog for us. So I did record one for next week, but it's not long enough, or rather, it's too long. It has to come in under a minute to go on to YouTube Shorts, or they won't allow it to play with the other shorts. So gonna need to make some edits to that. Hopefully we can get that out and through post production in time for next week. Otherwise we may end up with a gap, and trying to avoid that. Um, that's about it for education for this week.
Do you want Basil or Dizzy? Do you guys want to read the our balance sheet?
I go ahead and handle that, I guess. 25 ETH is in our main wallet. So we did move some more of our ETH over to staked ETH. So really excited to see us put our money to work in a fairly safe position. Staking it is not, high percent yield, but a risk versus return, right? So at least our money's working for us a little bit there. We got 100.09 in staked ETH, looking at about $244,355 worth of value at the current time. But as we know, that floats up and down every day in the wild world of crypto. We have about zero point 0.4 ETH in the royalty funds wallet. So just tiny bit over there, and the deployer wallet about zero point 0.8 ETH, $1,473. So that sums up our balance sheet for the week. And we did have payments go out last week, so the sum total of all those Ethereum is a little bit lower than previous, and I don't have a tally here for how much that was, but just the typical payments went out last week.
Typical payments, and also a proposal was funded.
Yep. So for Monkz merch, I'm the blocker on that one. I just need to get my USB-C cable to work so my ledger can actually send the funds to the Monkz merch bank account, and then we should be able to be fully live once I get the business account funded with the funds that were sent to the Monkz merch Gnosis wallet. But we're should be good to go there here shortly.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's pretty much it for community updates. This work pod status update is pretty much what we're going to cover next. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and we can jump into the roundtable notes.
Ew. Yeah, and that's for USDC ETH, right? Sweet.
All right, so roundtable. There's a couple of things we're going to talk about. Not too much extra things at the moment. There is. It's obviously going to be covering incorporation, which we're going to have to put to the side, it looks like. Monkz events, prop firm purchases, AI product. See Kale in here. Monkz metaverse, Wild the World, the merch, proposals, and roadmap. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go to incorporation. So the discussion is waiting on Eli. I know Eli was very leaning towards the non-for-profit foundation. So yeah, I don't know. I know PJ and him spoke about it. Eli was for non-for-profit. The progress on that is need an update.
Yeah,
Eli?
I was just gonna say, I think in part, and I'm not the lawyer here, so I can't really speak to the legal end of that, but in part, the nonprofit removes some of the liability from from Monkz, especially with like if something were to like formulate into doing well, the SEC is more likely to attack stuff that has, like the for-profit side presents an easier opportunity for, I guess, an attack route for the kind of current SEC regulation through enforcement strategy that they're operating under. And the nonprofit is an easy kind of sidestep of that while still being able to invest in for-profit businesses, but structuring it in such a way that you can kind of I guess avert that. Yeah, I could probably say it better, but that's my understanding of the current framework or thought process there.
Fantastic. Yeah, so the current blockers would be Eli at this stage. I'll hit him up because and then try and push this through because it's been voted on a couple of times now. There's no real reason why we shouldn't do it. Yeah, so yeah, let's get that rolling. Next steps would be mild harassment. Okay, cool. So next one is the Monkz event. So yeah, we've started to scale back the event, as you guys know. I've spoken about here and discussed. Still on the hunt for some sort of high value events that draw people in. We do get good turnouts for the community updates usually, and the Bud Smart Money. We're trying to build up the Twitter as well. So if you guys do see a Twitter space hosted by Monkz, yeah, just jump in and show some support. Even if you go on mute or turn the volume down, doesn't matter. Like people go to them based on numbers. No one wants to be the only person listening in there. So yeah, give us a little hand with that, and so we can get that going. Because yeah, as you guys know, Twitter Spaces do quite well, and especially like moving over the Mind Body Soul events and the Crypto Corner events. Yeah, hopefully we can bring some more people here. What progress would be? It's sort of keep going. Just with that AI event, it was supposed to be alternate. So one week we speak about Kale's product. The next week we do training, some AI training with PJ, because that's sort of what got everything going. But yeah, they keep getting cancelled, and it is quite annoying, especially if you're the one putting on the events. So yeah, so I'm trying to find some other things, sort of maybe we could do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that. Break up the week a little bit. Yeah, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing there. There's one that I didn't add here, but I'm gonna add it right now. Marketing. So I see Miss Lynn in here. Miss Lynn, are you free and able to talk?
I am, yeah. I don't have much for marketing this week. I was kind of away since Wednesday trying to pick up my stepson in Calgary and everything. So basically just catching up, prepping for what I could be doing for spaces for Tuesdays. It'll be early afternoon for when I go on. And when I do set one, I will let you guys know ahead of time before I go live and then during at the same time. And then just working on different things we could do for education shorts because people like the 30-second mark. So I'm trying to think of ideas that Fire Convoy can record. And yeah, I think that's it.
Any blockers at this stage?
Nope. No, just my procrastination, maybe.
Eva will do that to you.
Sometimes it
Um,
does. Yep.
so the next thing we're going to talk about is the prop firm purchases and a little update. As you guys know, if you were here for Bud Smart Money Tuesdays, both those funded challenges due to whatever reasons. One was a full-blown account, and the other was it would have been a reset, but
when you're launching a new
it sort of knocked him a little bit. So yeah, he was on the spent I think he was awake for 18 hours straight trying to get that account back. He got it back from, at one stage he was point he only had 0.15 of a percent left, and that's the account that he got back to 1% in drawdown. And yeah, so he did very well to get back in that time. Almost, yeah, like 8.75%, whatever it is. But yeah, it just wasn't good enough. So at the alpha call last week, what we said was what we were gonna do is the Pirates, because it was pay week this week, the Pirates are gonna fund, so we don't have to wait for the whole procedure and figure out what we're gonna do with that one. But we do think it's still a good idea to have a Monkz funded prop firm. So essentially, the Pirates have funded the prop firm this whilst we get the amended proposal sorted. So what's going to happen is if it gets knocked back in keepers, which I hope it doesn't, but again, everyone's entitled to their own vote. They can vote their own way. What's going to happen is if it gets knocked back in keepers or gets knocked back from the community, then it's going to be owned by the Pirates. And if it doesn't, then we're just going to pay them back for their outlay, basically. And then the plan is, instead of doing two at the same time, which is what we did last time, we did two $300,000 accounts. What we're going to do this time is we are just doing one, and then what's going to happen is when he passes it and we get the refund from that one for the initial funding, then we're going to use that to purchase another one. That way he only has to do one at a time, and it's a bit less stress, like trying to go 600,000 for a community, and then it's easier to go for one $300,000 account. Just looking at it now, he's in profit by 0.33%. So yeah. Next. Oh yeah, so basically, sorry, I've lost where I am. Basically, next steps would be wait for a proposal to come out and for it to go through the process. Progress is ending. He's got 29 days from now because he took his first trade already. 29 days from now, and at the moment there is no blockers. Basil and Dizzy, are you guys gonna handle that proposal, or do you want me to help, or what's the story?
I thought the new proposal was already getting worked on. I guess maybe that's my mistake. Happy to draft it up based on the old one if we do need that drafted. But I think our thought was we were going to fund it and then just make some slight edits to the proposal because Pirates were funding it, and the intention was still to have Monkz, the Monkz DAO own it. But if for whatever reason, whether the community or keepers didn't approve it, then it would just default to having Pirates own it. Once Bud kind of passes and gets through that whole funding. But regarding the proposal specifically, if we do want or if we do need someone to write that up, I'd be happy to do that. Just shoot me over the old one and I'll make some edits and throw it in keepers.
Yeah, cool. I can do that. No problem. Also, I'm happy to do it as well. Whatever's easier. I don't mind. yeah, so the next steps would be waiting for the proposal to go through the process. We'll start drafting the proposal, and then in brackets I'll write Basil or Stags. Okay, blockers, there's none at this stage, I would say. Much know what we're doing, there's no roadblock. So is everyone in agreement with that? Going once, going twice. Moving on. Next would be AI product, Mr. KL. How are you?
Yellow, working on it as we speak. We are insanely close. Now we're working on being able to handle multiple inputs. So, as you might guess, that means refactoring like 90% of the stuff that we just built. But I think Sean, the one that's been helping me, he is out for the week. But I'm hoping to have it done by the time he gets back. But after this, I think we're good to move on to an actual UI, and then we might have. Don't want to put a promise on it, but might have a product that'll actually work to display, like actually create an entire process and run whatever you want.
That's sick.
But that's fingers crossed.
Very close to finishing and being able to work on the UI.
Yeah.
And how's everything going with Splinterlands? Meetings
Really good. The longest part was realizing how the damn game worked to be able to build out a process for them. But we finally got that approved by them. It worked on our side for the one use case we're handling right now. It's like the transfer issues. But we just built out a bunch of other ones for them to approve to solve the rest of their issues on transfer issues. But if it all gets approved and we get this actual thing going, then it should be good with them.
give me one sec. Okay, any blockers? Sean being
Time.
away.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. While I've got you here, I'm gonna throw in two more things in here. So the next one would be the website. The discussion is we've sent over Kale. It's most likely going to be Kale that's going to be doing it. So we've sent him over all of the details regarding this. I do know that because there's a little chat going. So progress would be essentially waiting on a quote, like a detailed quote, getting more stuff added. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, pretty much. I've talked with Convoy a couple times. We're gonna review another one that I just put together, but there's just a couple little things within it that we're trying to map out, like other features that are gonna be added, like the NFT view, the wallet connect. We spoke about like the faction selection thing. I messaged Patrick earlier about that, and he told me he'd get back to me, but he knows what it is, so once I get all that information, we should be good. I believe Convoy's doing research on the LMS we chose, but I'm sure we'll talk about that when we go over the proposal again.
All right, cool. Yes. So I know, Izzy, you had some comments in that group chat. Anything you want to add to this website discussion? Give me one sec here. Sorry guys, give me a sec here. Alright, cool. So basically the next topic that we're gonna talk about is
AKA
blockers. So blockers right now for that would be waiting on the proposal. So the next one is the Monkz merch store. Basil did touch on it a little bit already. So the discussion is proposal passed, funding has been paid from the DAO. DAO has been paid. So the progress is everything is ready for a launch. Just waiting on. What are we waiting on again, Basil? The payment gateway.
No, so we paid the Gnosis wallet. Now I just need to get the funds transferred over to the actual like bank account that was opened up over this past week. And then once we have that funded, I can link that to the Shopify account and just have the funds steadily kind of backing that, so we can always have funded. Essentially, you need to have some like money to be the thing that pushes through purchases when they do happen, and then there can be the profit will then go towards that bank account, and then we can disperse payments as needed. But I just need to get the funds transferred from the Gnosis wallet into the actual bank account. So I should have that done. I was just having an issue with my USBCs and my ledger, which is connected to the Gnosis wallet. So I think I've got that fixed though. So.
Alright, cool. So blockers would be Basil's
You just
cable.
put Basil. Yeah, you just put Basil. That's me. I'll
Basil's
get it
cable management.
fixed. Yeah, more rice. More rice. Need to soak the USBCs in rice.
Next step, ready, launch. Okay, proposals. So I don't think there's any active proposals at the moment. There was one last week and it got passed. So no new proposals. No proposals currently in keepers. We should have a couple coming out soon. One would be for the firms and then website. They are the next ones.
And then I'm gonna pass the fuck out. But what's up, man?
Someone is hot micing. Blockers. That's pretty much it. Fire, I'm more than happy to help you with that website proposal once we get all the info from Dale. I'll write that as a blocker. Waiting on website quote. Able to draft up a proposal. And then there was roadmap, but I don't think there's much to add. So I'm going to throw in another one because it has been discussed a little bit, and I want to see what the people here, because there's quite a few people here think about this. So I met up with someone. We've actually have a little group chat going with someone who came to us with an idea. They are a member of CC. They're quite active in there, and they came here from CC. And the reason they came in here from CC is because during the mint stage, when all the founders were showing off their skills, sort of thing, and PJ was showing off that about his work with FRST and his wallet mapping program software that he did last time. So that brought in a lot of people from CC because originally they thought, oh, Monkz are going to sort of come up with these products that can sort of help us, like alpha products, because we had the alpha guy, we had Patrick, all of that. So yeah, he's come up with an idea that we've been chatting about in the background a little bit about making our own Monkz branded SaaS product that sort of utilizes PJ's skills a little bit and can. I had actually met with this guy yesterday. He's in Thailand at the moment, so I had took him for a little tour of where I live, sort of thing. His name's X, a Monkz holder. So yeah. Anyways, long story short is he. That's why they joined, because they thought Monkz were gonna sort of do that, and then it was like a lot of NFT alpha and now a lot of forex alpha. So that's why a lot of them have sort of stayed. And yeah, he sort of come up with the idea maybe Monkz should do our own sort of SaaS product that would. I talked about it yesterday. That sort of ties in Patrick's skills and maybe some of his old technology from FRST that could tie in the Monkz Forex Alpha, that could tie in the education, and that could also tie in the like NFT stuff and crypto stuff when it does well, similar to an Alpha Sharks or yes, like similar like that. So they would only get access if they held a monk or if they sort of purchased the alpha stuff from there. And I sort of feel like with AI, it might be a lot easier to do these sorts of things. But yeah, I just wanted to get an idea what everyone sort of felt about that. If that's if the game is a long time coming, and we are offering education at the moment, we are offering Forex Alpha at the moment, and we are offering and we've got PJ as well, which got all of this experience mapping out wallets and stuff. So yeah, I just sort of want to get an idea what everyone feels about that. If it's something that we do want to pursue, if Ale, that's something you would be interested in helping out, build out. Yeah, so I just want to open the floor up to everyone and see what everyone sort of feels about this.
Yeah.
As far as my understanding from my meeting with him yesterday is like he just wants to see Monkz do well. That's basically it. The way he was speaking to me, he was sort of like he's not very active in the community, but when he is here, he does contribute. And yeah, he just wants to get. He sort of was asking me a lot of questions about what's been going on and how can we fix this and yeah, he was asking me all the right questions yesterday. He gave me good vibes. It seems like he does want to help and he does want to utilize that particular skill set of PJs and make it a Monkz branded thing, because that's sort of what he thinks. Like the projects that are sort of still around, they've built stuff. And yeah.
Is his is his background in like dev work and doing stuff like that. I think that's this is great if he's able to actually like head this up and front this, but if he's relying on needing to like PJ to put a lot of time and effort and like expertise into that, I feel like that's not an area that we currently should be pushing just because of how much he's already like overloaded with his own like life and stuff from like Splinterlands and doing whatever it is he's doing with trees and clouds and trying to like, you know, unclear on. We'll hopefully maybe we'll get an update from him when he's ready to talk about like where his headspace is at and what his like time commitment is actually available. But the vibe that I've gotten from PJ is it now from a time commitment standpoint, he's not really able to put time into like the early stage projects. I think he's still fully committed to building out stuff for Monkz and kind of helping us where we're at. But I just want to make sure the worry that I would have with a SaaS product or a software. Sorry, walking in a couple assholes. I don't know if you guys heard that in the background, but
I didn't really hear that. Can you repeat?
So with the software as a service, the worry that I would have is the cost associated. And you're right, maybe with like AI, it could be lower than we'd think. But even like comparing it to a like Alpha Shark or something like that, like they put a lot of money into that. And there's, I don't think that that's something that we necessarily have the funding to put behind, but definitely open to hearing about it and open to especially if X is like a dev or someone who would want to like lead up this and kind of take this on and be happy to, you know, put more money, time, and effort into it. Because I definitely like the idea.
My understanding from what I heard about my discussion with him yesterday is he is like he's just like an entrepreneur. He's involved in real estate. He's heavily in Web3 and crypto. He's done a lot of forex and he's done a bit of dev work. But it's only been front end stuff and not on chain. But the reason everything sort of comes back to PJ is because he already built this out, so it's not something that would require a lot. Like it might be a lot easier than we think. Like PJ might have all the files still in a drive somewhere and just be like, oh yes, sweet, here you go, that's a mad idea, bang, here you go.
So I have talked with PJ pretty extensively about the FRST stuff and like implementing it into current day markets. And my understanding, and I won't completely like shut down anything, but my understanding is like the market and what was an opportunity back in 2017 has significantly matured and saturated and has been built out, and it's not the same opportunity that it is now. So if the hope is that, oh, PJ just has access to something that we could just immediately implement, it would be great now. I don't think that that's a thing. I don't think that's like an area worth pursuing, but we can certainly ask PJ to see if there's something that he would think would be implementable nowadays. I just, from conversations I've had with him in the past, I just wouldn't put our hopes up.
All right, cool. Does anyone else have any comments about this? Izzy, I want to hear from you here, bro.
And I do think that like next time we get PJ on, it's like it's definitely worth him like touching on or talking through because I'm not able to. The conversation I had with him was like probably, gosh, a month or two at least ago. So I'm not remembering exactly the specifics on why he was saying like, and the framework of our conversation was, hey, if you could do FRST again, would you? And he was saying no. And he was speaking for himself. He wasn't necessarily speaking for like Monkz as a whole or anything like that. So maybe the answer could be different if he was framing it differently. Yeah. Correct. 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 It's way more saturated and like a lot of people are just kind of like building off of each other, which is fine. But it's not necessarily something we would want to dump a bunch of money into. Maybe it's something we could use the tools that are already there and build off of. Um, and it would be like a low cost way to provide like some good alpha. But if we're wanting to like develop or build significantly, it's probably not something we would want to do.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Could do that. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
agree
hundred
with
percent.
that.
That's not a bad idea at all. And yeah, as I said, like that would PJ's thing would be one aspect of it. It would sort of be everything that we offer. Could be this in this in this product if we ever did sort of that our education syllabuses basically the forex stuff, the NFT stuff when that comes back. Have a crypto guy in there. Maybe it might be something that Monk's DAO doesn't want to do, and maybe Bud wants to do it because with his alpha manager thingy in the future, like I know he gets his. I know it's completely different, but I know he's got a dev that works for him that builds out these indicators and stuff. So yeah, maybe it can be something that the alpha manager sort of looks into. But we do need to try and sort of think of ways to build something out and generate some money. So yeah, it's not. Anyone that hasn't these sort of ideas, like don't be shy to bring them up and throw them out at us. Or if you see another community doing something that you think would be quite easy for us to do, um, yeah, let us know as well. But yeah, I think we do need to have a chat with PJ when he's on. Run it by him, see what he thinks. If it's easy to implement or cheap, or yeah, keep an eye out for products that sort of tried to build out something that failed as well in the meantime. And yeah, does anyone have any other comments to add from this, or shall we move on? Rightio, moving on. So the last one was the roadmap, but I don't think there'll be any updates from the last time that we discussed it. But yeah, we do need to have another crack at that roadmap. Maybe yeah. And I want to have a little chat with PJ as well and find out exactly from him um, what is waiting on weapons, what is waiting on for this, for that, and like write it all out, and then see if we can get someone to do that. Maybe after Kale builds out the website, we can start working on that. But I want to find out exactly where it's at, what it's doing, because yeah, when it was at the stage where it was we need devs to do the weapons, and then I put up together a little dev team, and then they started working on weapons, and then they started working on something else. So I don't straight away, so I don't actually know where those weapons are out, but they are like a year and 2 months late now. So I'd like to have something delivered to the regardless of if people are busy or they're doing other things now. Like, don't make promises that you can't sort of keep. That's my sort of on that. But I want to find out how far, exactly what we have to do regarding that, so we can get the ball rolling on that. So that's pretty much it for the day for today's roundtable notes and the community update. I don't really have much more to add. Does anyone have any closing things that they want to bring up? The floor is open.
Appreciate you, Stags. We're trucking along. Patience is a virtue here, but we'll get there. We definitely have the funds once the right ideas in place. That's all I got.
Whenever anyone ever, I can't even talk. Whenever anyone ever says to me anything about patients, I always say the same thing back to them. I say patients belong in hospitals. But yeah, all right, guys. Well, hope everyone has a great 4th of July. I don't know exactly what you guys do on 4th of July because I've never experienced one, but I'm guessing it's school shootings for the day.
Swatting and school shootings.
School shootings, which is good. That's a great day in America. And I'm guessing a lot of where you guys coming into summer now, so we talking barbecues and fucking barbecues, beers and fireworks, shotguns.
That's
And
it
burp.
right there.
My first ever shotgun. You guys know shotguns, yeah, with the beer can.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, my first ever one was with an American on a speedboat in PP, and I'd never done one before. And then they had this little chant that they do. And then I did one, and then I figured, and then I realized everybody does shotguns. Like everybody knows it. UK people do it. They've all got their own chants before before they do a shotgun together. So that's that. So yeah, if no one has anything else to add, we'll wrap it up. 7 minutes early, but we're getting through these roundtables quicker. Hopefully, yeah. Last week I was a bit MIA because my brother was here from Australia. He's flown out last night, so it was good to see him. But it's also good to get back to work. And yeah. So the key things for this week would be the website. If we can sort of get that sorted, that would be great. Monkz Metaverse, Wilder World. We didn't really touch on this today, but basically, Dizzy, yeah, we've purchased a Trinity set. Dizzy's got because they need requests from via email. So Dizzy's drafted up an email to them. It looks good, and yeah, so hopefully we can get something. What is he sent me? Don't click links. Don't click links. They told me. Send me a link. The most American thing ever. Fireworks. Fall back and hit. Oh, it's babies. Oh, the car goes on fire. Oh my god. The car blow up? Oh my god. That's sick. Oh, that's nice. Um, and my mate, there's a beach club here called Catch Beach Club, and we got there and like light fireworks on the beach there, and we had a little fireworks fight. They're the ones that just shoot out at people.